We've been in Chennai for many years now. I'm originally from Tamil Nadu. As businessmen, business decisions are made on logic and returns. Tamil Nadu, I think, has had a great balance strategy. You've got manufacturing, you've got this, you've got iPhone, you've manufacturing, you've got semiconductors now. So there's a nice balance here. There is an abundance of choice. There is some thought behind what is happening. And also, like I said, there's a vast spread of services.
In today's generation, we came across many people and they are confused actually. Technology has disrupted. Do you have any suggestions like what they can pursue or like how they can upskill themselves?
There is no right answer for everyone. Ultimately, we are all individuals. We all have to find our destiny. We all have to find, what we are good at. You all have to see what is your skill sets, what's your mindset. Every generation believes smarter than the previous generation and wiser than the next one.
Welcome to the Guidance Podcast, your window into the state's investment landscape, industrial growth, and innovation ecosystem. We explore the latest developments, success stories, and opportunities in Tamil Nadu, with insights from industry leaders, policymakers, and experts shaping the state's future.
Hello and welcome to Guidance Podcast. I am Bipin Daniel from Guidance Tamil Nadu team. This series brings you insights from industry leaders, innovators, and policymakers driving Tamil Nadu's innovation, investment, and equitable growth. Today, we are joined by Sriram Natarajan, President, Quint Financial Technologies, a finance services leader with over 30 years of experience in credit, risk, and fintech technologies, and now leading work in artificial intelligence, automation, and digital transformation. Today, we will discuss how Tier 2 cities like Trichy are emerging as hubs of technology and talent, and how companies like Quint are creating new avenues of growth beyond metros. Mr. Sriram, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Bipin. It's my pleasure too.
To start with, what's the core of Quint Financial Services? Who do you serve and what's the problem you solve?
Yeah, Quint Financial Technologies is a fintech company, as the name suggests. We've been in this business for many years now, but as Quint, we've been in this business for about 6 years now. Our primary offering is providing tailored financial technology solutions to banks, credit unions, and card processors in the U.S. So we are an American company. We have offices here in Gurgaon, Delhi NCR, Chennai. Our headquarters is in New York. And of course, now we are opening an office in Trichy.
Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you.
From your perspective, what makes Tamil Nadu a strong choice for companies like Quint?
Well, Tamil Nadu has some very obvious uh, advantages. First of all, is this amazing talent that Tamil Nadu has. As you know, even cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, all depend on talent from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
So that's an obvious one. And Tamil Nadu also uh, has the, should I say, the highest number of cities, even if whether you call them tier two or tier three, whatever. But it does have cities, multiple cities like Madurai, Coimbatore. I don't think any other state has so many cities where which offers you a choice. Of course, we have chosen Trichy for several reasons. Apart from that, main one is, of course, the infrastructure which is being built there, and also the abundance of colleges and institutions in and around Trichy. And even before we announced that we are going to say, even our staff here in Chennai had already lined up people who would join us. So that's the kind of amazing talent that we have in Tamil Nadu and across Tamil Nadu. And I'm sure what I hear from my industry colleagues is the same story with Coimbatore and Madurai and even places like Tirunelveli, which are coming up now.
Mr. Sriram, as you have recently opened a new center in Trichy, can you give more light on that? Like how many people you are going to recruit and what all things they are going to do there?
For us, Trichy is our first foray into a tier two city.
Mhm.
As you know, our headquarters is in New York, and we have two offices in Chennai and Gurgaon.
Mhm.
Gurgaon is a suburb of Delhi NCR. So this is our first foray into a tier two city, and we are very excited about that because we see the obvious benefits there. So we are starting small. We'll have about 65 people to start with. Over the course of the next 2 to 3 years, we'll probably have 250 people. We have 300 people there. Again, all depends on how we grow and and the kind of talent that we manage to hire and how Trichy grows. So I think, but we are very excited about that. We do see enormous potential in Trichy, and I'm sure there are other places as well in Tamil Nadu. But for us, for right now, we are committed to Trichy, and we are excited about how we can grow. And we want to be in a situation where all our future growth, or sort of the leading growth that we have, should be out of a place like Trichy, because that gives us a lot of room for us to not only to bring in that pool of new talent, but also make some experiments and also take some risks, which we may perhaps not be able to take in a city, in a metro city, because we don't have that kind of talent pool. And at the same time, the costs of doing those kind of experiments, like trying out a new product or building a new solution, for example, or building a sandbox for our customers. So those kind of things we think we should be able to do better in a city like Trichy. That's what we're really excited about.
Many still views metros as the default innovation hub. As you rightly said, infrastructure and talent is a big plus for Trichy. What else you find in Trichy which attracts company like Quint?
Yeah, that's a great question. You're right that the default is always for to go to a metro, whether it's a Bangalore or a Hyderabad or a Chennai. That's always the default, which especially our international companies like us tend to do. But that's really playing it safe, and several reasons. Also, that you realize that the metros are also getting, should I say, I won't say congested, but more cluttered when it comes to talent, when it comes to hiring people. The flip side is also that the employees have a choice, and you see several people, multiple appointment letters in their hands, and so it kind of affects our business model a bit. Which is why the tier two cities, I think they offer a lot of stability, and two, a lot of talent which you see in Chennai is also from places like Trichy. So it kind of makes sense to us that, hey, instead of them coming to Chennai and working at a higher cost of living and being away from your families, why not work at your hometown? And that's what makes sense for us. And also, infrastructure in the tier two towns is also growing, and there are some obvious advantages like less traffic, for example, lower cost of living, even transport and all that is certainly cheaper for the employees as well as for us. And a place like Trichy has a nice airport as well, and has an international airport. And we have direct flights from Delhi to Indigo. Just started a direct flight from Delhi to Trichy. So these are great advantages, and we see a considerable amount of growth coming in these cities. And Trichy perhaps is one of the leading ones in Tamil Nadu.
Quint is into multiple solutions. So, like you are the president of Quint Financial Technologies, and you also mentioned that they have a health division. So, can you just throw more light on what all other solutions Quint are into, and what is next for Quint in India?
So Quint, at the core, we have a case management solution which works for banks and credit unions in the US. So a case management solution builds a common platform which integrates into the digital banking software and enables them to manage multiple processes at an enterprise level. For example, a dispute process or a fraud management process or a compliance process. So that's our core strength, and that's why we have about 50 clients in the US. All our clients are in the US. That's what we see a potential of about 2,000 clients in the US for our solution. That's the kind of market growth which we want to see in the next 5 to 10 years. Where we see places like Trichy coming, so being so relevant for us is to build these new technologies, build these solutions at a cost, and enable us to take more risks. Yes, not everything will succeed. We are open to that. We understand there will be some failures. There will be things which will not work well. But places like Trichy will give us an option to hire the kind of diverse talent at the right cost to make sure that we do all these things in a more structured fashion and in a more cost-effective fashion.
What other technology or trend you foresee in future, like which is going to disrupt the entire industry?
Well, first thing is that I've never heard so many people talk about disruption in the last 5 years as now. Everybody wants to disrupt.
Yes, sir.
Disruptors want to disrupt the disruptors who are disrupting you earlier. So it's the disruption has become a very a bandied word which everybody throws around across industries. I'm not just talking about the financial services, but unfortunately, we are the kind of the first port of call for any kind of disruption. But in terms of technology, we just can't predict anything. Like 3 years ago or 5 years ago, it was all about blockchain.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, I was asked about blockchain. Any conference you go to across the world, it was all about blockchain. This is inevitable, but it didn't. Nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so we have to be very careful about the hype factor. And I don't think there is any technology which is just going to completely change our world or completely change our lives. It doesn't happen like that. Even it took computers. It took some 20 years for them to
That means
get kind of embedded into our lives. And it wasn't until 2008 when the iPhone was launched and we had mobile apps coming in, that app based technologies came in. So it's not that wasn't very far off. That was just 15, 17 years ago. And even now, there are many banks and financial services companies which are still struggling with their mobile apps.
Yeah.
It's not that every customer is using that. There's a lot of hype going around. There's a lot of noise created, which is good for the industry, which is good for India, because we have an abundance of talent here. But the fact is that as businessmen, especially the financial services industry, look, the banks handle people's money.
Yeah.
So any industry which handles people's money is going to be extremely cautious about any kind of hype.
Yeah.
The hype, it's very easy to, the technology companies can afford to go into hype, because for many of these companies it's more like a beauty pageant. You attract funds, you attract capital. The investors also keen that I must get a 10x return on my investment. How soon can I sell and exit? And there's a pathway to that. If you're playing for the long game, that isn't the option. That maybe work for some small startups or certain kind of people who claim to be serial entrepreneurs, and they keep forming companies and then move on to the next one. That's a business model for some people, but for the larger industry, for the country, that's not going to work. You need sustainable businesses. You need to have the trust of your clients. And India, which is it's taken us about 35 years to build this kind of international credibility today, that can't be just thrown away because some new kind of technology has come in.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. So what new technology will come? At least for the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be a lot of hype around AI, or several forms of AI. We talk about agentic AI. Now people are talking about vertical AI, which is really about, in a particular industry, you don't
Deep
kind
down.
of go horizontally, you go
Yeah.
vertically. You create more and more LLMs and models for that particular area. So, who knows where that could be. But, it reminds me of that story when I started my career in the early 90s, when the computers had just come in India. And I remember that institutions like LIC, everybody went on strike, saying these computers are going to replace me, and I'm going to go. I might lose my jobs. But nothing of that sort happened. And in fact, the computers industry created more jobs.
Yeah.
It's like that old joke when they said that when the computers come in, we'll go into a paperless office. We are still waiting because printers created more paper than ever before.
Yes.
Today there may be a lot of talk that AI is going to replace 70% of the people, of the jobs. Listen to who is saying that. These are guys like Vinod Khosla and all these investors in Silicon Valley who are saying that. They're saying that because that's the hype they want to create. That is their business model. That's what attracts capital. It behoves upon them to say these things.
Yeah.
Because that's the industry they are in. But to somebody like us who's providing services to banks, who are providing services to insurance companies, that's not the hype. We cannot get carried away by the hype of technology. Ultimately, shorn of all the noise that you hear, technology is just an enabling factor. Ultimately, what does a bank do? Or what are they doing hundreds of years? They take deposits from you and they lend you back.
Yes.
That's what banking has been for thousands of years. And nothing has changed. Your channel may have changed. Instead of a branch, now you have online banking.
Yeah.
But you're still providing the same service. You're still giving credit. Your customer on the road, on the street, doesn't want you to implement AI. He or she doesn't get excited. He says, hey, I want a loan at the lowest possible cost. And that still holds. Whether you give me through the app or whether I walk into my branch and I sign, customers will happily walk into a branch if you give them a 1% lower interest rate.
Yeah.
So technology is an enabling factor. It's a tool. There may be several forms of new technology coming in, which may be AI, which may be something else. We're talking about quantum technology now, quantum computing. You hear that everywhere. But hey, I mean, if quantum computing, if it comes in, it might just blow up whatever we have today, because all these token based and authentication, all this will just will
Milliseconds.
be useless,
Yeah.
because quantum computing can break everything.
Yes.
So that's a big risk that we have. So I don't think the industry is just going to grab whatever it takes. There is a set of the industry, the technology factor, which is does that. But in reality, technology or the growth of new technologies is going to be a part of our life, and we have to adjust ourselves and tweak our business models accordingly.
You have seen Tamil Nadu from both professional and personal lens. So, what motivated you to build here, to do something here? What you find something unique in Tamil Nadu to do? Like why you decided Tamil Nadu?
We've been in Chennai for many years now. At least my company has been, and I'm originally from Tamil Nadu. So there is always that root connection, that connection of our forefathers, and your cultural connect that we have. But apart from that, as businessmen, all that is great. But business decisions are made on logic and on ROI and returns on the investment you make. So I think apart from all the other factors, the personal factors or historical factors, the key thing today about Tamil Nadu is that Tamil Nadu offers a kind of a refreshing, should I say, a package of people, package of talent, and also a government that is very keen to for newer companies to come in. And I see a lot of manufacturing companies come in, and they're not just obsessed with IT, or they're not a one-track roadmap, which is very great, because when there is balance across
correct.
industries, that
Yes.
makes it very good for these industries also.
Yes, sir.
Because currently, if you see Bangalore, for example, being called as the Silicon Valley of India, it's actually a problem, because all the IT companies are converging there,
Mhm.
and it creates a problem of plenty at times.
Yes, sir.
Whereas Tamil Nadu, I think, has had a great balance strategy. You got manufacturing, you got this, you got iPhone, you manufacturing, you got semiconductors now. So there's a nice balance here, which makes it very, very attractive, which shows a lot of maturity on the part of the government in particular, to say that, hey, they got a proper plan. They're not just going with the flow.
Yeah.
We see many cities which are historically just gone with the flow. This is attractive. It's easy to attract software companies. Hey, let me call all the software companies and get them out. That's a that's a very well thought out plan. I can see that, and I think the execution is also very good, in the sense that you are building infrastructure in all the cities. And before we decided on Trichy, we had a look at Madurai. Went to Coimbatore as well. So there is an abundance of choice,
Yes.
which makes it very, should I say, you feel good about it. And we can also, as investors, we can take a considered decision when you plan out, and we can say, hey, this is what the roadmap is, and there is some thought behind what is happening. It's not just the hype, or just not that, hey, come on everybody, let's open a park here and let's everybody join.
Yeah.
And that's what is, I think, great about Tamil Nadu. I mentioned about the talent. I think the thing that really distinguishes Tamil Nadu is about the abundance of diverse talent.
Mhm.
So it's not just about software engineers. We have great software engineers, but we also have good economics graduates. We also have good medical representatives. We have good, should I say, even management graduates. So this diversity of talent and across stratas of the society. I mean, it's not there is no. The great thing about Tamil Nadu is it's very diverse. And I was reading some statistics that Tamil Nadu has the highest level of women participation in the workforce.
42%, sir.
Yeah, which is a remarkable record. And that's what shows in our companies as well. So when we get, say, 6 out of 10 applications are from girls, it's a wonderful feeling. It really shows that, hey, there's an abundance of talent out here. That, again, it all boils down to the people ultimately. I mean, anywhere you go, anywhere you invest, even with our clients, for example, in the US, all they look for is what kind of people do you have.
Yeah.
And that's the key differentiator that Tamil Nadu has. And also, like I said, there's a vast spread of the
Yes.
of services, not only talent but also in terms of infrastructure. And even just going outside Chennai, I mean, going towards, let's say, Kanjivaram, or even in that road, there's I saw so many medical colleges. So it kind of, we have a healthcare division as well, a healthcare services company as well in our group. So we were looking at that. Hey, this belt seems to be good for healthcare services.
Yes.
So that's the kind of diversity of talent and the diverse infrastructure, plus a government which is keen to get things done and have a planned roadmap. And I think that's a key distinguishing factor for Tamil Nadu.
This podcast will be viewed by a lot of students or newly passing out graduates and all. So in today's generation, we came across many people and they are confused actually whether to go with STEM, commerce, and all, because as I said, technology has disrupted them. Do you have any suggestions like what they can pursue or like how they can upskill themselves to manage the new work style which is going to come in future, sir?
There is no right answer to this.
Yeah.
And there is no right answer for everyone. You know, some things may work for some people, some others may not. Ultimately, we are all individuals. We all have to find our destiny. We all have to find, the- what we are good at. So my suggestion or my advice, or especially you are probably just out of school or just going into college, is to not to get too worried about what the market is doing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of social noise today on social media and WhatsApp forwards and YouTube and all that. There are so too many people saying too many things, which obviously will confuse everybody. But remember, there is no one silver bullet or mass solution for every that'll work for everybody. Not only across Tamil Nadu, for example. Tamil Nadu is just one state, but I'm saying even for a state, it doesn't work. You're all ultimately individuals. You all have to see what is your skill sets, what's your mindset. As Bob Hope famously said about 50 years ago, he said that every generation is the same.
Hmm.
Every generation believes that they are smarter than the previous generation
Yes.
and wiser than the next one. So that will apply. Even the millennials are now entered the workforce.
Yes.
Now you have Gen Zs entering the workforce. Tomorrow, I don't know about the Alpha generation, whatever the next generation that's coming in. They'll all be asking the same questions. What do I do? And we were also, when we were young, we all also asking the same questions. But at that time, we did not have social media, so we could not ask them online.
Yeah.
Today, you're lucky that you have so many options. But I think that what's important is you as an individual. What do you want to do in life? It's not just about getting into the herd mentality that everybody is doing software, so I must get into software. So 3 years back, even for example, like everybody was into software. If you're not a software engineer, then you're probably missing out on something. So I've seen people who would have probably made very good chartered accountants, or would have probably made very good insurance surveyors, for example, but they all went into software. I've seen very good mechanical engineers who did their BTech and then went into MS for software, just because the jobs are in software. So I think there's a lesson there. And don't get, if everybody is going in a direction, then you better not go into that direction. The other thing is, remember, the basics will always hold. You have to have a government, for example. A government will need to have accountants, will need auditors. You will need people to work human resources, for example. So you have to find out what do I like to do in life? What are my skill sets? And there are some very good tools that you can use to say, hey, what am I good at? You might be very surprised when some of these tools were actually very good at assessing your skill sets. You may think I would make a great pilot, but the tool might say you don't have the nerves to be a pilot, for example. So I think you have to think as an individual by yourself, and no two individual, even siblings are not the same.
Yeah.
Your brother could be different, your sister could be different. So I think it's very important for you each to think individually what I am good at or what can be good at. And the most important thing is, hey, I should enjoy what I'm doing. It shouldn't be that I'm forced to do this because of economic reasons or because my parents told me to do this.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing to do, because you have your entire life to then regret that. Maybe 20 years down the line, you will say, you know what, I should have done that. And I think that's more. And believe me, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, whether you are a chef or whether you are mixing drinks at a bar, if you're enjoying it, that's great. And the other thing that people should not do today, and unfortunately you have more avenues today to do that, is on social media in particular, is that comparing yourself with others, which is a very, which is, I would say, it's just not there. I mean, there's a famous The thing that I always tell people that you don't know the whole picture. If you're seeing somebody being wildly successful in a particular field, maybe because that person was made to be successful for that trip.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you also will be successful in that. And you should find your own course. You have to find your own way out of your life. Yes, you will fail. Yes, you will. But that's the beauty of your life. Unless you fail, unless you see some challenges, you're not going to enjoy this journey of life. If everything comes easy, then there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with what you're achieving. There may not be such great achievements. Chart your own individual course, enjoy what you're doing, and don't look at others.
Yes, sir. Totally away from the business perspective. If you are in Tamil Nadu, what you do, what you enjoy the most, sir? Like whether you go for movies or go for some, you have some favorite eatery or a favorite snack. So, what you like to do in Tamil Nadu, sir? Treat.
Oh, I think Tamil Nadu offers a vast, huge things. First of all, a place like Chennai, I think the beaches are fantastic. So I have a beach, Thiruvanmiyur beach, right very close to my house. So beaches are amazing. I think the other thing is I liked about Tamil Nadu in particular is these enormous, these amazing temples, these kind of old structures and temples which are thousands of years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I discovered that there is a Marindishwaran temple in Thiruvanmiyur which is 1400 years old. I never knew that. It doesn't appear in any of these tourist brochures or anything. So that's the kind of, uh, you know, it makes me feel so humble to think that we are we are part of a civilization which is thousands of years old, and some of these structures have been standing there for maybe 2000 years, and that kind of it's so fascinating to explore all these. And Trichy also has some of these amazing temples and amazing archaeological sites. I think that these are some. Of course, food is great here. I'm a vegetarian, so there's enormous choice here. And I mean, this is the only city that perhaps offers vegetarian Italian and vegetarian Mediterranean and all these specialities. So I think Tamil Nadu as a whole is a fantastic package for everyone. You all, anyone can. I'm sure everyone will find something to which they can relate to here.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I enjoy these the historical dimensions of the Tamil civilization, which is really amazing.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Sriram, for this wonderful insight and for a wonderful session. Thank you for giving us this your precious time. Best of luck to Quint, to you, and may Trichy be the one of the beginning. May you expand in all the tier 2 cities in Tamil Nadu. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bipin. It's been my pleasure, and I enjoyed your conversation. And yeah, me too. I also look forward to all our success of guidance, success of what we are doing, all of us together, and success to Tamil Nadu as a whole and to India as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.